Hello everyone, welcome to the next 150 days in Hobbleton. Last we left off, I discovered this awesome hobbit statue that I can have my builders build, so let's get some resources they need. First off, a bunch of terracotta. Good thing there's a Badlands like super close to here. Collins is still very upset that she is idle at her job despite having fields to work, and I realize this is actually affecting our global happiness. Not good, but I have no idea how to help her, honestly. It looks like Rodney just finished our first level 3 builder's hut, and in the meantime, British Toast got our shepherd's hut up and running. Although the shepherd keeps dyeing them random colors for some reason. Oh my gosh. Why? I have to dig our quarry out from an even bigger chunk of obsidian now. I might just move the quarry to another spot and hope for the best. While fixing the quarry, BT was busy ordering some builder quests for a university so we can finally start down those research trees, and a new residence for more people. There we go, move the quarry and it's working again. Let's hope it stays that way. Wow, that is a lot required for the university. I guess I'll start supplying all of that. And a request for the guard tower. With all of these builders, the colony should be expanding much quicker now. Speaking of, Rodney has actually started working on the university already. The quarry has mined so much. Oh my gosh, I did not take the time to appreciate just how much it's carved out of the terrain here. Like, look at all this, and as I make it bigger, it only gets more and more efficient. I'm definitely going to have to move it a little farther from our base, because, I mean, well, just look at it eat the terrain. What's this? Yo, is that a little dumbwaiter? That's so cool. Looks like the higher level builders huts have a cool little basement for more storage. This is actually really handy. I like supplying the large quantities of resources like planks, dirt, cobblestone, and bricks directly to the builder instead of the warehouse, because we really only have one courier at the moment and it would take him absolutely forever to do it by himself. BT put in a build request for an upgrade to another builder's hut and a cowhand's hut. The buildings are requesting a lot of item frames, which requires leather, and I think she's kind of tired of our inhumane cow pen. What? Are you stuck in a hole again? Oh my gosh, this is gonna keep happening with the guard towers, isn't it? Jeez. I made a few more maps and started mapping out our area for the town hall. It doesn't do anything functional, but it's really cool to look at with all the little icons and people. I guess it does have a function in that it helps me find a citizen if I know their name. It happened again. At least it's just one block of obsidian this time. While moving the quarry yet again, Ezra finished a builder's hut upgrade, and then started working on a residence. Good, we need more couriers, which means we need a lot more housing. I put all the maps in our town hall, and look at that, it maps out just about all of Hobbleton. Really cool to watch our citizens kind of just move around and work throughout the day. Look at the size of this. I think we found our end goal. Not all style packs have a player house, but the Shire one does, and it is called Bag End, and it is enormous. This would take forever for our builders to make right now, but definitely worth at least planning a spot for it for the future. I think right here, kind of next to the water, would be perfect. We might move the shepherd's hut so it has a little bit of a clearer view on Hobbleton, or maybe just raise it a bit, I don't know yet. Here's the progress on the university. This is a pretty neat floor plan so far, I think. Excuse me? Somehow our quarry got underneath obsidian? I am so sick of this thing. I mean, it's incredibly efficient and requires nothing to power, but my gosh, how does it keep finding new ways to surprise me and get incredibly stuck. On the bright side, our builder's hut was finished again and a newer courier's hut has been placed. I think it's well past time we start really terraforming. We have the building gadgets mod to help with that. So let's get a few of those going and a charging station for them. And if we set up a little inventory hopper with some charcoal, it will always have fuel. I used our newfound tools to give the villagers next door a little more incentive to move, and I gave one to BT, and she immediately made great use of it. I fear she may go a little power crazy with it. Oh well. Oh god, yeah, I was right. She's straight up deleting people's houses and trees. This is hilarious. She's also getting rid of the desert? Oh my, I still don't know if this was on purpose or not. I made a battery upgrade for my backpack, but it only holds 90,000 RF, which is so little compared to the 1 million RF buffer in each of the building gadgets that it's not even worth having. With the building gadget, I helped BT fill in some old creeper holes and get the terrain ready for Hobbleton's expansion. I take care of Quincy the Dragonborn not because he's really a threat of any kind, but because he's a filthy liar. He's clearly not a Dragonborn, and I would know. Look how much the quarry brings up now after a single trip. A couple stacks of copper, a stack of coal, and 21 iron. This is the only resource we really need, and it doesn't seem to be finding much of it. But the university is finally finished, which unlocks our access to research trees. There are some huge benefits here. The first major one is stamina. This unlocks the hospital, then the doctors at the hospital can cure our citizens of the many, many different diseases they keep getting. This is great. The major bottleneck right now is actually our builders or couriers getting sick. It's not that serious, it's just kind of hard to notice, and without the hospital, we are the only ones that can do anything about it. Hey, Baylor has finished the guard tower. We have room for another citizen, and Veda has some good skills, most notably athletics and adaptability, perfect for a builder. Sorry, Ezra, you've lost your job. If you ever wanted to compare your colonists for a particular job, go to the hiring tab and make sure show employed is marked as yes. You can then scroll down through all of them comparing the first two skills. I too wish there was a way to sort by level, but alas, our technology is too weak for such a feat. I started sorting all of our gems from Apotheosis, getting ready to use them for some speed boosting armor in the future and demolishing the others, but got interrupted by a raid. Oh, I'm so sorry. These guys spawned in a river this time, and they really are not great swimmers. Sucks to suck, I guess. The exchanging gadget is really fun to use. I made a bunch of deep slate tiles and replaced everything in our basement. I really like the way it looks now with the gold beacon and the dark tiles. Remember that big pyramid from like day 2 of the series? I went back to it feeling confident, and there were a bunch of puzzles I simply could not figure out. I spent a lot of time trying to, and never found out the answers to any except one, which led to another puzzle I couldn't do. Oh, also I moved the quarry. It was a little too close to the base. And we had enough dirt, so I moved it to the desert, not only because of BT's desert distaste, but also because we needed some more sand for glass. We needed some prismarine for our level 4 builder set, and I really didn't want to find an ocean monument. Luckily, Create has an answer for that. Burning up some lapis with soulfire, I think it's called, gives us all the prismarine we could ask for. Stamina is finished being researched, so Keen is next on the docket. This will unlock the library for us, which doesn't do much on its own, but higher levels of library is a requirement for a lot of important researches in the university. All of this glass I'm smelting up is not only for our buildings, but also I'd like our beacon to have a bit of a big old glass floor showcasing it. Just like this, yeah, I'll probably expand that in the future. I bulk crafted a ton of oak plank variations and shoved them in the warehouse with more armor and tools. Our Callahan's hut is finished, so let's herd all these guys over there. Everyone in, there we go. Why is there always a random little guy with cows? Last time it was a chicken. We have 2 more spots for citizens, so I hired Nathan Reeves and hold off on the second one. Their stats, the visitors we have right now, just aren't that great. I put in an upgrade request for the warehouse because all these new materials, armor, weapons, and all that stuff is starting to really fill it up. Also, fun fact, the spruce saplings seem to have a really hard time growing on this shaped farm because of the 4x4 sapling structure thing. Most of the researches I want to do are level 2, which requires a level 2 university though, so I settle on researching higher learning for our next one, which will unlock the school for us. Oh, look at that. Not a raid, but a bunch of pillagers are over here by the forester's hut. This thing must have bad juju or something. The forester died like 3 times. The zombie piglin was sawed in half by our tree farm, and now the first pillagers I've seen are over here trying to take out the newest forester's mason. Oh gosh, he probably won't last long. Our quarry has been very busy in the desert, finally getting some more iron for us. Baylor was shot by a honeyed archer? A what now? Is that a skeleton on a bee? That's wild. I think it's time we spawn-proof this area. Adding a ton of torches and some walls, this should protect it. The building gadgets make quick work of this too. Also, we can place torches down in a big grid pattern. It's a little dense, but it will stop mobs from spawning inside our Hobbleton. Oh gosh, it won't prevent raids though. There's a small army of them now. I tried getting the create floodlights to work. It says they just need a redstone signal to turn on, but it really doesn't seem to do anything at all. Corey's hut is done though. I don't know why I came back to this pyramid. Determination, I suppose. At one point I got frustrated and I just put a bunch of redstone torches on the walls. It didn't help. I did find one puzzle I could solve. It was literally just shoot the targets. So not much of a puzzle, and the loot was kind of meh though. I got them all to light up and nothing happened. I really hoped turning them all off was the answer, but it wasn't. The only thing I could think is there is some specific sequence you need to unlock or find to do something. I don't know, maybe I'll come back to it one day. On my way out, I did find this area, and well, you'll see what happens. Yeah, not my finest moment. I cleared out our tree farm and made a larger area for more create farms. We need more wood and a little farm with some potatoes, wheat, and carrots to help us feed and cure our citizens of diseases. I also drastically expanded our basement to include under our new farm area. And on the other side, I started getting an automated iron farm going with Create. Let's expand our windmill to help real quick with the increased stress load of all the new farms. Oh my gosh, another raid. I guess I have spent like 5 days working on these machines. Oh wow, there are like a dozen of them now. There was one little guy I couldn't find. Turns out he was hiding in this chasm here. I don't think it was on purpose though. What is that? The visitor winter died from in-wall. I hope that doesn't mean they're spawning inside of wall and suffocating. That's exactly what that means, isn't it? Well, the tree farm and the first part of the iron farm is done, which is just a cobblestone farm that gets crushed up into gravel so far. Bangers and mash, beans and toast, boiled potatoes, roast beef, 3 eggs, hash browns, bacon. Some of these sound delicious, but the rest sound like British food, which is, well, oftentimes much wetter than it should be, which is kind of gross. Oh no, not another in-wall. This is going to decrease our visitor count if it keeps happening. It looks like BT found the block they're suffocating in, so removing it should do the trick, hopefully. Fingers crossed. The iron farm is working. Well, iron nugget farm I should say, but it's better than nothing. Like I said earlier, it makes cobblestone, grinds that up into the gravel, and then with this fan and some water, it washes the gravel into iron nuggets and flint. It's not the fastest, but it is automated, so. And an update, the in-wall still seems to be happening to our visitors. And another one. As I struggle to get out of this door, you may notice it's day 181 already. I have no idea where the footage went for the past few days. Here's a quick recap though. We mostly upgraded buildings, as I'm sure you can tell from all the new roofing. We have a level 5 builder's hut for Rodney now, so we can upgrade any building to max level. The most important buildings we've been leveling are the builder's huts, the warehouse, the couriers, and the university for research. And look at that, we just unlocked a major milestone, builder modes. Builder modes unlocks quite a few new construction strategies for our builders, but I'll be changing them all to Hilbert, because the consensus is it's the best. By default, our builders would be building in lines, going back and forth, requiring a ton of movement in between placing blocks. With the Hilbert strategy selected, they will go to a section, fill it out, then go to the next section, fill it out, requiring a lot less variety of blocks in their inventory, as well as a lot less slow movement between the sections. Here's a quick look at our research trees. Most of these either make our citizens a little faster in terms of walk speed or building speed, unlock buildings for us, or increase the max number of citizens we can have. Oh, we've also started the request for Bag End to be built, so that's what Ezra will be doing probably the rest of her career. The new street back here is basically just a ton of housing for citizens. If you're planning on Minecolonies, I definitely recommend start off by making streets instead of just randomly placing things like we did at the start. Mr. Roy the Shiny and his bodyguard actually almost got me. We have expanded our walls as you can see, but they aren't as useful on raids as you would think. Minecolonies developers thought of that. The raiders can break blocks and place ladders and are immune to most traps like lava or fall damage, so the walls we have just serve to funnel them into areas so we don't lose track of them and slow them down a little bit. The barracks are being built over in the corner of Hobbleton, and they've just made a bunch of holes in the ground to get stuck in. Excellent strategy. Look at Ezra go. Well, it's been almost 200 days. I think we should fight the Ender Dragon. Here it is. I forgot we have a really cool mod that revamps the Stronghold dungeon area, which makes it so I have absolutely no idea where the portal is. I spent the whole day searching for it until being interrupted by a huge horde coming to Hobbleton. Oh my gosh, there are so many. They weren't kidding when they said a huge horde. They're spawning with new ranged raiders too that actually really hurt and have a ton of health. It took us half the night just to unalive them all, then I immediately found the end portal and hopped on in. Oh whoa, that mod revamps the end too. Holy, this looks so cool. Oh, that guy was easy. We have 35 citizens now, 6 of which are builders, and we have 3 free spots for more. It's time to have these guys make their own blocks though. Let's start out with making a stonemason, which will allow them to start crafting up the different stone and brick. If you are enjoying the series or just the Minecolonies content in general, be sure to hit that subscribe button or the like, I appreciate it, or leave a comment on what else you'd like to see. Look at the ridiculous amount of turret Christian needs to build Bag End. I know Ezra was working on it, but Christian is faster, so I gave her the job instead. And they're already finished 37%, which is way more than I could have expected. We've got another huge horde of Amazons again. My gosh, their spears really hurt. You guys okay? Ouch. Okay, rude. We spent the next few days just kind of letting the colony do its thing, and look how deep this mine goes. This is crazy. I'm glad our miner hasn't run into lava yet. And as we wake on day 200, here is the colony in all its glory, standing almost 50 citizens tall. We have a well-stocked level 5 builder's hut, a massive warehouse, our newly built stonemasons, a cute little level 4 library hole in the ground, and of course streets of citizens and warriors alike. Bag End is not quite finished by day 200, but if we give it an extra 23 days or so, here it is, with the rest of our colony.